Good morning and welcome to another rainy morning on Beating the Sun. I just want to kick off today saying I got up and I came straight to the studio. I just want to say a few more things about this book, The Brain Rules. There are two armies in your head, the sleep army and the awake army. And they're both fighting each other, except they can't fight for very long. So if you stay awake for a long time, then the awake army will eventually become tired and the sleep army will take over. But then on the flip side, if you sleep too long, then your body will wake up naturally. And this was interesting because it knocks onto that whole idea of how if you don't sleep enough, you accumulate a sleep debt, a debt that knocks on to the next week even, a debt that has to be made up somehow. So if you're doing 30 days of getting up at 4, but every day you're not getting to bed early enough, then you're increasing this debt, which basically means that during the day, if you haven't had enough sleep and it's just getting worse and worse and worse, and you're just constantly chiseling away at that sleep debt, then you're going to fall asleep, which is interesting because I've felt that a lot, and it hits worse after lunch, and that's like, yes, it's to do with the carb overload for having lunch as well. That isn't improving. That's one thing that's actually there every day. I feel like I need a long sleep to get things back on track. So how does that all work out in the long run of this challenge so far? Well, originally I did this because I wanted to see what it would be like, and as I've said quite a lot, I've really enjoyed the getting up early and having the time to walk the dog, having the time to myself. Well, another thing I've been chasing after is how does it affect levels of creativity? And it hasn't actually been until this last week that I felt that my body's got used to the whole process of going to bed earlier and getting up at 4 o'clock. It hasn't been until recently that the body's got used to it. But since I've got used to it, I have been able to be creative in the morning. Yesterday was the best day, and I really got stuck in, and I was late for work as a result. Is it possible to be creative? For me, by getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, it is possible. Right now, I'm thinking that my previous style of doing things was probably more me. I would have dinner, relax a little bit, and then I'd start working on creative stuff, and I'd be working on that until about 2-3 in the morning. So I just felt that it was warmer for me. It's better time creatively for me. But trying it to flip it and get up early and do it, I can see how it could work, because one thing it does do is it really does springboard your day. I found that getting up at 4 and getting some creative stuff in, or having a good walk with the dog, or getting stuff done, answering emails or whatever, before I go to work, has really enabled me to feel good about the day before it started. So that's definitely a plus point. Another thing that this book says is that there are different types of people. There are the larks, the hummingbirds, and the night owls. People naturally, and it says actually the larks, the people that get up early, are the least common of the three. They find that the most common, obviously, are the hummingbirds, the people that get up at a reasonable time and go to bed at a reasonable time. Then there are the night owls who you need like 16 alarm clocks placed around different positions in the room to get you up, but they thrive at nighttime. And I can't help but think I'm in that category. And I'm trying to be a lark, but actually deep inside I'm programmed to be a night owl. I don't know how strong that programming is and whether it can be changed, but I can definitely imagine myself continuing this, but not to the extreme of 4 a.m. I can imagine myself after this perhaps getting up at 5. Getting up at 5 might be the kind of middle ground that makes it more frustrating than good. If I got up at 5, I would possibly feel rushed. I know that sounds weird. It's better than getting up at 7, right? But I think I wouldn't have that relaxed time as much as I would if I got up at 4. But certainly I won't be going back to getting up later and then rushing around and then bombing out the door for work, because I understand now from doing this how much, I won't say how much better I feel, because really getting up at 4 every day for 30 days has been hard in that respect. But I can imagine if I was sleeping in and getting my sleep debt sorted out on some days, and then using other days, most days, a high percentage of days, to get up earlier, then I think I would feel the best about it. And so I reckon that once I finish this challenge, I will continue to get up early. Perhaps 4:30, perhaps 5, on most days, and then maybe use the weekends to sleep in, and basically ensure that I don't rack up a sleep debt, because I think that's one thing that really chisels into how creative I can be, or how much I can enjoy the free time in the morning, is definitely how tired I feel. So I think that the goal would be to get up early, to enjoy it, but also make sure that I wasn't racking up a sleep debt, so that I felt in tip-top condition, because I think that's the biggest thing. I think I've not been able to get to bed early enough, and I have racked up a substantial sleep debt, and it's made the thing less enjoyable than I think if I'd had it a few more days sleeping in, I should say. But yeah, thanks for listening. There was a lot of talking in this one, and it's something that I wanted to do in the later days of the process, to talk about it more. So yeah.
6:52, leaving the studio now. That was 59 tracks. That was good. I feel good now. I feel good. The weather is pants. Wow, the weather's terrible this morning. So, it's time to go to bed now. Time to hit the sack. It's been a really great day. That creativity this morning really gave me a great start to the day. Even though the weather was absolutely pants, the day went by, and I feel it was just because of that good start, really. The first 30 minutes were a bit tough, but after that it was all good. Anyway, see you tomorrow, and thanks for listening. Bye.